Good morning. Hopefully things will start to stream soon. Yes, there we go. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you have a good morning where you are. Just turning lights on as ever. Why is it that I'm always running late? Because life happens. So, let me know when you've arrived and we can then get started. I've got two stamp sets, well, one stamp set and a bundle I'm using today. So I'm using Corner Bouquet from the Sale-a-Bration catalogue. So this is a level 1 stamp set. And then I'm using one of my favourite sets, which is the So Sentimental bundle, which is from the annual catalogue. And boy, is it chilly here today. So I've got myself a hot drink and I will take a sip while I wait for people to jump on board, and then I will get going and start making. Right, so I'm using the Oh So Ombre Papers. Again, these are from the Sale-a-Bration catalogue. These are the ones I'm just about at the end of my first pack, but these are the ones which are surprisingly ombre'd. We've got Bermuda Bay, Rococo Rose, we've got bubbles on some and plain on others, Granny Apple Green and Blackberry Bliss. And I'm using the pinks today, so Blackberry Bliss and Rococo Rose. So that's what I'm going to be using. I've even got the papers out, ready to cut down. So I'm going to do this in a kind of reverse fashion. So I'm going to start by doing my sentiments. So I've already got mounted, that's the word I'm looking for. I've already got mounted the I Can't Thank You Enough stamp. Yeah, that will be just about big enough for both. So I'm going to do one in Rococo Rose and one in Bermuda Bay. I've got ribbon for both those colours. So let's have a go at that. So this is the Rococo Rose. Morning Claire, morning Audrey. So I'm using, for anyone who's just joined, Corner Bouquet and the So Sentimental bundle with the Oh So Ombre Papers. Nothing complicated this morning. I don't think my brain would cope with anything complicated this morning. Snowing with you, Lorna. We're forecast for snow tomorrow. We're forecast with heavy snow. Morning, Judith. So clean that, and I'm going to straight away pop that to one side, stamp my Blackberry Bliss one as well. So I hope you are all doing well. Don't really have much news from Old Stables Crafts today. Let's just check how much space I've got. Yeah, that'll do. Trying to think what I can tell you. We had a call with our global logistics guy yesterday, and he is over the UPS deliveries to the UK like a rash. If you don't have your tracking number for your order, let me know and I can let you have it, assuming your order has already been shipped. The best thing you can do is track it on the UPS website, and if you've got any problems, then phone UPS customer service. Morning, Wendy. It's quite chilly here, but so yes, if it looks like your parcel has stalled, as in it's got somewhere and hasn't moved, all I can recommend is that you phone UPS customer services when you've got nothing else to do, because it is quite a long wait, because a lot of people are, surprise, phoning UPS customer services and see if you can get an update. If it hasn't moved for a while, you can ask them to put a claim in, which means that they actually go to see if they can find it. So I'm using my mini cut and emboss machine just to cut out my sentiments, and then we can do the stamping with the Corner Bouquet. So yes, morning Belinda. You can log a claim. I've logged a claim for a couple of my parcels, and within a couple of days they did seem to start moving again. I've just done a third, and I'm waiting for that one to move. Morning Catherine, you have made it today. So yes, UPS, once it's shipped from Stamping Up, and UPS are picking up every evening. So don't expect, if you get confirmation that your shipment has moved first thing in the morning, it's possible that it won't actually have been picked up until the evening. You gave up waiting for UPS to answer. That's I think it's a really good thing if you're doing something else, you know, if you're sitting watching television, doing some knitting, that sort of thing. That works quite well with UPS because you can get on with that while you're waiting for them to answer. I don't think I've had to wait for more than 20 minutes, maybe a little bit more than 20 minutes, but they are frenetically busy. So yeah, Stamping Up once the orders have left, Stamping Up has no more oversight on them than you or I. So this is the die. These are the dies that go with the So Sentimental stamp set. Right, so I've just realised I haven't put the picture down. Good grief. You should have told me. Let me go into picture in picture. That's better. Right, so I'm merrily chatting away. Catherine, I would put in a claim to UPS, I mean, because then they will actually start investigating. It's not actually a claim, just means they'll investigate. So yes, what I've done, sorry, I've been rushing like a mad thing this morning. All I've done is stamp and die cut my two sentiments, so you haven't really missed much. Good grief, Rickenbacker. Right, so I'm going to, no, I wonder what's going on underneath. Ooh, that's actually a bit, the piece underneath is a little bit grubby anyway, so I'm going to use the piece underneath. Right, because I'm going to be stamping off my white. So, it's because I'm used to doing Facebook Live still. I haven't quite got into YouTube Live and the differences, and the fact that I can do all this exciting picture-in-picture stuff. It's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. So you can just stamp in the corner, but you can do other things as well. Ooh, and I've just noticed something. Bear with one moment. I think it's over here. The one I want. Not me, of course. No. Right, I'm going to just grab my mini catalogue because I've just noticed that some of the images in the corner stamp go with one of the stamp sets from the mini catalogue. Let me find it. And it's literally just jumped at me. Can I find it? Can I? Heck. Okay, those demos who are here, it was the one we were given at Sale-a-Bration. Please give me the name, someone. Not at Sale-a-Bration, at On Stage. That's the one I'm looking for. Enjoy the moment, that's it, page 59. Right, so some of the images on this, so there are seed heads which go with this. So just so you know, who would have known? So yes, the Enjoy the Moment has the same seed heads as the Corner Bouquet. I just can't find my Enjoy the Moment stamp set at the moment. So, as I say, you can just stamp in the corner, and there's another one, there's a smaller image that again you can just stamp in the corners, plus a couple of smaller images. But I'm going to go round the outside and use this as a thing to go around the outside. So I'm going to end up with white in the middle. So I'm going to might actually start by going in from the side. So we've got our better, and we can come in there. So basically what I'm thinking is we shouldn't just be thinking of this as a corner stamp. You still see half a butterfly with that stamp. Okay. Oh yes! Absolutely, Audrey, I've just seen it. I'm never going to be able to not see it now. We might have to play with that. Now I'm going to come in with that, I think. So just be aware that this is a layered stamp anyway. There's things overlapping. So you can come back in if there's a slightly bald area. You can come back in and stamp over. Absolutely no reason not to do so. So there, for example, and a bit more down there. Because this stamp, if we stamp it as an image where you can see, everything's overlaying. So don't be scared of coming back in. So let's get rid of that for one moment and clean my stamp off. I'm going to finish this card and then we'll go on to the next card. And then I might be doing that whole half a butterfly thing. I like that, Audrey. That's amazing. Right, so it's a bit one-sided, but it's fine. So I'm going to grab some Rococo Rose ribbon, which will actually then designate what I'm going to be embellishing my card with. So I am going to trim this down a bit, which will help even it out. But yep, that's long enough. And the reason I'm going to trim it down is because I've got the ombre paper and I want this to be my first layer on top of my card base. So I'm going to trim this down first. And I'm going to go with my usual 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. So any of you who are joining at any point with from North America, the measurements will be on my website on Monday. So 5 5/8. And I always do my narrow slice first, because then you end up with a nice wide piece, and it's full length, so this is the full 6 inches, and I've only lopped the 6 inches off this. If you do the 5 5/8 first, you end up with a short piece for your larger piece, if that makes sense. So this would be 5 5/8 long. So I'm going to trim this down. I'm going to take it down. This is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8 as well, so it's the same size at the moment as my base, roughly. So I have got freezing fingers. Just saying. So I'm going to take this down. I'm going to take it down 1/4 inch, and that's going to help even out because I'm a little bit further out this side than this side, so that's going to help even that out. So we'll take 1/4 inch off there, and it's one of the reasons that I'm going to take 1/8 off each end. It's one of the reasons that I like to start with a slightly larger piece of card, so that I can then adjust a bit. So that is our final piece. And put that away for a moment. I'm going to layer that onto my ombre piece, and I can't decide. Yeah, I'm going to put the dark at the bottom because it looks heavier, if that makes sense. And I'm coming to the end of this reel of Stamp and Seal, so it's getting a little bit stiff, a little bit troublesome, but it's okay. I've just got to show it who's boss. But we'll do that whole rock and roll bit. And that seems to work quite nicely. Yeah, just choosing which way up. I like these seed heads at the bottom. It looks more mint. Right, so then I need my Seal Plus. You could use tear and tape in place of Seal Plus for this, but I do like Seal Plus for, I don't want to cover up my seed heads, I do like Seal Plus for ribbon. I know I'm going over the sentiment, not being totally balmy, just slightly. So I just want everything to be placed about right. So I'm going to come up to a grid line, lay that down, then I can add my Seal Plus, flick that in, straighten my ribbon this side, Seal Plus, take that out, and we've got a nice straight piece of ribbon. This I'm going to pop up on dimensionals. So I'm going to definitely have one top and bottom. I'm going to use edge pieces for the sides, or the ends rather. I'm going to put them this way so that they don't interfere with the ribbon, because otherwise it could look a bit odd with the bulk of the ribbon underneath the dimensionals. Yes, my fingers are definitely freezing. As I say, we're forecast to have heavy snow tomorrow. We've been forecast to have heavy snow for a few days. Well, not for a few days, on a few days. And it's not come. Although yesterday they were saying we were going to have light snow, and now they're saying heavy snow. I think it's more likely we're going to get it. But that's fine, I've got nowhere to go, so it's not a problem. Right, so there is my sentiment stuck on. I'm going to grab, if I can find them. I think they're in here, but they may not be. They may be in my other. Yep. I found them yesterday, and of course now I can't. No. No. Good grief, they can't be in that one because that says pearls. Hey, who says that's not? Oh, except I could. No, don't want pearls. What I'm looking for are the little gold enamel pieces. Which I seem to have lost. Okay, so let's just have one more look, see if I can find them anywhere, and if I can't, I will go with something else. It's definitely not in there, definitely not in there, definitely not in there, or in there. I'm going to have one more look in here. No. Oh, they were here all the time. It's those that I'm looking for. And I'm using these because we've introduced gold in the ribbon. So take your pick. Now do remember, anyone who's shopping with me this month who uses the host code and spends at least £50, you will be getting a take your pick as your thank you gift. Everyone else will be getting thank you gifts. Just the take your pick is my particular special for this month. So the call that we had last night, just following on a bit from that, the feeling is, and of course this is Brexit, it's got nothing to do with Stamping Up. Stamping Up have got all their paperwork in place. They've had it confirmed that all their paperwork is in place. They're doing as much as they can by soft copy, so it's quick. There. Yeah, there's it there. But they have said that they think it's probably going to take, well, you need to allow probably about 3 weeks for your order to arrive from now on. Obviously there's a backlog at the moment, but hopefully from now on it will be about 3 weeks, and then in about 3 months, so when we're looking at kind of April time, we should be getting to the point where things settle down a bit. I'm going to use Seal Plus over my ribbon as well, because that helps to, or I would if it would like to stick to my ribbon, that helps to keep that in place. And then I'm going to use liquid adhesive to adhere this to my card blank, and because I've got 2 layers of paper and card, it's not going to show through because I'm going to keep it inside where the card is. And just scribble and pop this down. So there is light at the end of the tunnel, so things will sort out, but at the moment I'm afraid Brexit. I don't know, B, your guess is as good as mine. There are 2 lots of customs cleared as well, so I can't answer that question, I'm afraid. If you've got any queries, all I can say is please phone UPS. They are the people that are going to know most. Excuse me while I have a quick drink. Right, so I am going to do a liner for both of these, but I'll do that in a moment. So I'm going to do the same but different with my Blackberry Bliss. So again, I've got my white card ready to go, and I'm going to use the same stamp. That's better. And I'm going to stamp off first. Blackberry Bliss is very, very dark, and I don't want it to be very, very dark. I want it to be slightly more mottled. So I am going to stamp off. There will be, Audrey. Life got on top of me. I filmed it. I need to photograph and write it. So as I filmed it, not that you would know that, as I filmed it, I said, sorry that I'm late with my Simple Stamping Saturday. We've had 1 or 2 family issues just to deal with. And I'm sorry, but family comes first. And I'm sure you will, appreciate that. So that's not a criticism or a comment, it's just an explanation. But yes, using, I can't even remember what I'm using. Oh yes, the healing, whatever it is, from Heal Your Heart, and the Flowers and Field and Flowers. But them, anyway. Come in a bit there. Oh, I'm just going to go for layering. In fact, I'll do this one first. Here we go. Like that. But yes, it'll probably be early afternoon by the time it goes live. I've got some things I need to go to the post office and stuff like that. So as the post office shuts at 12 and it's now 10:30, it doesn't leave me a huge amount of time. You can see why I'm doing my stamping off there, can't you? So this one's very much closer in. Again, I'm going to probably trim this side. But this one's going to be much busier, which is fine because it's going to have a lighter, as in less heavy, ribbon. Clean that off. Right, so that's that done. So this is our starting point. Again, I'm going to be using the matching ombre. Oh, I've got a drippy nose. It's so cold in here. Excuse me. So again, I'm going to cut it on the long, so with the narrow edge first, so 3 3/8, sorry, 3 7/8. And then I'm going to take the bottom off. Last time I took the top off, so I'm going to take the lighter edge off. So 5 5/8. And part of my reasoning for that is because this is going to be much darker anyway, so I want less of the light and more of the dark. And then for this, I'm going to trim, let's see. I think I'm going to trim 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Sorry, but I think that's what we're going for. So we're still going to be, this is going to be 1/4 of an inch shorter on each side than the paper. So we'll have 1/8 of an inch, roughly, 1/8 of an inch border. So let's take that off. That away. Yeah. So again, rock and roll. Hi, Renee. A little bit further over, that's better. I'm just going to press that down from the back so I don't get. Thank you, Audrey. I'm glad you like it. So now I've got my sentiment, and this time I'm using the new ribbon from the mini, which is the striped ribbon. It's more of a self stripe. I don't know if it's going to be easier to see there or on my hand. Probably on my hand. So it's like an organdy or organza ribbon with self-stripe in it, and it is in Blackberry Bliss. It's part of the ice cream suite. Can't remember what it's called, Ice Cream Corner probably. We seem to be going in for corners at the moment. So again, I'm just going to trim that down and come up a wee bit. Yep, out there. I don't want it exactly in the middle. I have an issue with things. In fact, I'm going to go, oh no, I'm going to go there. Middle is really difficult, I think, because if you're not exactly in the middle, it's kind of, for someone like me, it's kind of annoying. Morning, Jan. So again, Seal Plus, line your ribbon up with a piece of one of the lines on the grid paper, fold up, and again, and yep, I'm going to stick it to my card base at this point. On the previous one I did the whole thing and then stuck it to the card base, but because this ribbon is finer, there's more chance that it's going to, that the Seal Plus is going to come through, so there's more chance of me ending up with everything stuck in the wrong place. like to my grid paper. And again, I'm putting some Seal Plus onto my ribbon. I am putting some Seal Plus onto my ribbon. Honest, I am. Thank you. And that way it's sandwiched between Seal Plus. And again, liquid adhesive. I need to get some new bottles of liquid adhesive out. Do remember, anyone who is in the UK, I do stock adhesive, so if you need some at any stage, I can pop some together for you. All I would say is that I haven't managed to get Tombow through the large letter slot. Large letter Tombow, by the time that's in an envelope, it ain't going through. So if you need Tombow, it will end up as a small parcel. The seal does work, just so you know. But if you do need some, do let me know, because I have stock. Dimensionals. Now this time I'm not so worried about this ribbon being bulky, because it isn't bulky, so I'm going to be quite happy to put my dimensional onto the centre here, and that's going to end up on my ribbon. I hope that makes a wee bit of sense. So yes, as Stampin' Up demonstrators, we are allowed to hold stock of various things, and that includes adhesive. So I do have adhesive if you need it and you're in the UK. Now I don't think that really needs much else because it is quite dark. So I'm going to leave it at that, but I am now going to do my liners. So all I'm going to do is ink up a corner of the liner. Let's get rid of that one for the moment. So I'm going to ink up a corner of the liner. No, I'm not going to ink up a corner of the liner. Corner of the stamp. And again, I'm going to stamp off and then just come in at the bottom corner. So there's a bit of the pattern. So that's for that one. And then let's just clean that off. And then I'm going to have a go at Audrey's butterfly. What's time? 1:30-ish, just gone. So yes, we'll then have a go at Audrey's butterfly, because I've just seen it. It's just, I'm never going to not see it now. So again, ink up. I'm going to do this full strength because Rococo Rose is that bit paler. I'm just sussing out where my ink is. So that's that. Let's clean that because I'm going to actually use the smaller stamp for the next one, purely because I don't think that's going to fit otherwise. So I may bring back in my cleaner piece of grid paper because this is now horrible and I have a cream jumper on. And I don't think Blackberry Bliss and a cream jumper is a good combination. Personally, I could be wrong, of course. It might be a match made in heaven, but I don't think so. So we'll just pop that in there. And press everything from the back. So there we've got our card, and then you open it up and you've got that reflection of what's on the front. And bring in our other one. And you can see, change of colour, very different card, I think. in my personal humble opinion. But that's, for me, they look totally different, and you could use them for very different occasions. And obviously you can change the sentiment so that it's appropriate for the specific occasion that you have in mind. So again, there we have our nice card front and the inside. So if I bring them in together, I think they look quite different. I mean, they're clearly the same, but I think what comes across to me is quite different. So I'll pop those to one side for a moment. Bring back in my slightly cleaner grid paper. And I have got a little bit of glue at the top there, so it should stay in place. Then I'm going to grab that, and I'm just going to grab some more ink. So I'm grabbing Bermuda Bay, oops, let's do English. So Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana and Pool Party. So I'm going to go aqua for no other reason than I can. And because Bermuda Bay is one of the colours in the paper, that's the word I'm looking for. So let me mount that up. So we're going to be going, we will probably end up slightly off the paper, but I don't think that matters. What I am going to do is, this may or may not work. I'm really going to go with this butterfly theme that Audrey has come up with. I haven't mounted these yet, so this can be a how to mount up your labels as well. So this is how I do it, and I will show you another way as well. So I peel the back off and I just literally drop them in and then peel them off. But I will show you another way as well. Let me grab a smaller block. So this is my baby A block. Get rid of those bits. And, oh, I've just had a thought. I'm going to need another ink pad. So what you do, got to get this the right way around. Is not what I've just done, I think. Is what I should have done is remove that before taking the paper off, then take the paper off, line up your stamp. Now it's not the easiest stamp to line up. I've given myself a really difficult one to line up here, but we'll go for it. So if I flip that over, that is there, and you just pick it up. Much easier if you're doing a sentiment. But yeah, I mean, it's only a little splodge, so it's not the end of the world. Let me just grab, I'm bringing in Pretty Peacock as well, because it is a dark aqua. So what I'm going to do is start with my leaves. This may not work, I'm just saying. Start with my leaves. Yeah. So start with that. Then we're going to have bottom out the flower head. Yeah. Pop that away. This is really making it up on the fly. And I probably shouldn't have done those until the end, but it's fine. Right, what I want is a silicone mat. And And I am going to go light into dark. So I'm going to start with Pool Party. Then I'm going to add some Coastal Cabana, and yes, I am going to be overlapping them, but because, right, that there, because Pool Party is lighter than Coastal Cabana, I'm not too worried. Then I'm going to get my Bermuda Bay, and my Coastal Cabana is lighter than my Bermuda Bay. Then I'm going to, I decided it was going to be that way up, didn't I? Keep it reasonably straight, stamp that down. This may not work, just saying. Then, bottom out, fingers crossed. Not the best lining up I've done. Right, I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to do it the other way round. I'm going to make my life easier for myself. This really is on the fly. It worked, other than the where I put the body. So the answer is, let's put the body on second. Let's just clean this off. Right. Okay, so Pool Party. No, that's Coastal Cabana. Pool Party. Dry that off. That's what your hand is for. So Pool Party. Coastal Cabana. Bermuda Bay. Well, that puts rather too much Bermuda Bay on, but never mind. Hello from New Zealand. So we now know it doesn't matter where I put my card because I haven't got the body, which was the problem. So there's a wing, and clean that, don't need that for the moment. Whoops, throw it around, why don't I? So clean this off. That's not clean. It's a rough approximation of clean. And repeat. So Pool Party. Coastal Cabana. Bermuda Bay. I'm going to overlap them a little bit in the middle. Nice, Audrey, like that a lot. Thank you for that. And I'll put the body in now, where I can actually see where it's going. So, and we will need some antenna as well, but we can deal with that. So, body, head, pop those away so I don't put my arm on them. This is the Pretty Peacock Stampin' Blend. So go. Right, clear the decks a bit. Grab my trimmer. Actually quite central as well. So I might go a little more off. I'm going to go 3 3/16. I know it's a horrible measurement. Actually, I might not go 3/16. What happens if I go 3/16? No. Okay, so we'll go an 1/8. Okay, I'm going to fudge this a bit. We are going to end up with it being even both sides, but it is going to be a bit of a fudge. There we go. And I want some off the bottom, so if I did 3/16 each side, that's 3/8. So 1/4, 3/8. There we go. So, grab my paper and I'm going to go with bubbles this time. Is this live, Karen? Yes. Ah, no, that's possibly because the, what's it called? The thumbnail. I have to put the thumbnail in before I start. Hi, Tara. I have to put the thumbnail in before I start, otherwise for the next day it will say live. So in order for it to not say live, I have to put the thumbnail in first, otherwise it's just one of the intricacies, one of the little nuances of YouTube. It doesn't let you change your thumbnail until the next day, roughly. It takes a long time for it to process on the YouTube server. So we are actually live. So that's going to go there. Actually, yeah, it'll go there. What have I got in the way of bases cut already? I think I might have, yes, a pretty peacock. So we'll go pretty peacock. And I don't know if I'm going to put a sentiment on the front. I might. There's a very small one. Right, okay, so Seal Plus. Rock and roll. Come on. Very near the end of this now. So again, I'm putting the darker bit at the bottom. There we go. And again, I want my liquid adhesive. I'm not putting ribbon on. Thank you, Tara. In which case I shan't put a sentiment on. This is the unplanned card. So those of you that are joining a bit late, Audrey very, very astutely said it reminds her, the Corner Bouquet stamps remind her of butterfly wings. So it felt a bit as if I had a challenge in the nicest sense of that. This side, which is the mirror, is a little more splodgy, but not bad. Right, so let's grab another piece, and again, let's grab our stamp, and in fact, what I am going to add something, just not very much. To the outside, I mean. I've just realised what would actually work really nicely on there. And it's new, so it's always nice to use new things. Jan, I'm not a great fan of standalone ribbons. I don't know why, but I'm not. But yes, if you're into ribbons, a little ribbon on the bottom with a small bow. Yeah, no. But opal rounds, because I've gone for this colour scheme, I think we can add a few opal rounds. I'm wondering if these are going to be too... Let's go down to the other size. Yeah, I think we can add a few opal rounds, whoops, preferably in a straight line for some detail on the back of his body. It also helps make the leaves look more body-like. No. I think I will leave it like that and then just stick my liner in. And then we are done. And that will be it for the day. Very much looking forward to receiving your order. Oh, thank you, Karen. Can't wait to sit and have a good look through later. Yes, absolutely. Have a really good look. And yeah, as I was saying earlier, UPS got themselves into a bit of a pickle because at one point they were one of the major, the only one of the major, or one of a couple of the major logistics companies that were even shipping to Europe. One of the really big ones didn't ship for 10 days just so that they could get their heads around Brexit, which of course, because it was the final deal was announced so late, nobody could really prepare for the exact Brexit. Anyway, so that's that. I'm going to just very quickly take the picture to... Actually, no, I can do it with this. So, yeah, so that's this one with those opal rounds, which I think just add a little something. And then these two. So, of course, I'm going to have to hold them up and do the freeze frame for when I can change the image. So I'm going to pop us back. Thankfully, you're in the UK, Karen. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I'm grateful you're in the UK. Oh, because you got a lovely email from me. Aww. Right, so let me just bring us back to the little webcam. There we are, so it's just me. So let me just hold those up because I'm going to pretend to be Kylie Bertucci because this is what she does. So I'm just going to do, get the right way round and preferably without the camera in the way. That's bad planning, isn't it? So let me just turn that a little bit. Whoops, sorry. Sorry. I'm turning the wrong bit of the camera. If I turn the camera head, it works a bit better. That's better. So, my Kylie Bertucci freeze frame special is one of those. And then I can come back to you on YouTube because there's a little bit of a delay between the two. So thank you very much for joining me this morning. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend. If anyone is getting snow, I hope it's not too dreadful. And I will see you Facebook Live Tuesday at 11 on my Facebook business page. Then Thursday at 3 p.m. YouTube Live. And again, Saturday next week, 10 a.m. YouTube Live. And those are all obviously UK times. You'll have to change the timings if you're not in the UK. So thank you very much indeed. I will just bring up my final. Actually, I'll first say, because there's no sound on that one, so I'll first say thank you very much, and I will see you again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.